Alright, this tech talk is actually going to focus on a really cool new tool called ThingLink. I love ThingLink. It is a free web-based service that lets you annotate media on top of images, and that might not sound too exceptional, but it really is. Think about it like this. So right now on screen I have a collection of pictures from the civil rights movement in the United States. And if I were to show these in class or in some kind of talk or presentation, I would talk about the history of these, I would talk about some of the marches and different events that were happening. So I would give this image a lot of context if I were showing it to someone and explaining it to them. What ThingLink does is it lets you digitally include that context without you actually being there, which is a pretty cool feature. So while this image looks like any other image you may have seen before, if you just hover your mouse over top of it, all of these little annotations pop up. And the cool thing is that all you have to do is move your mouse over them again or click on them to further interact. So what I want to do in this tech talk is I want to show you some of the cool things that ThingLink can do. I want to show you how easy it is to create one yourself, and then also how easy it is to put it into a Moodle course. So let's go ahead and do that. This civil rights movement image, I think, is the perfect place to start. This was centered around the Montgomery bus boycotts, and I will share the link after the fact alongside this video. But there are a couple of really cool things in here. So this was actually created by a student at a high school in, I believe, North Dakota. I could be entirely wrong, but I know it was created by a student. And it was created in a way that the instructor had created the original image, the students remixed it, so they made a copy of it that they could then edit and do their own thing with. So if you actually come up here to this exclamation point and hover over it, there is a link to a website called MentorMob, and what MentorMob does is it lets you create basically a playlist of content for students to go through. So they'll be going through different images and articles and videos and figuring out what they're going to be doing next in their projects. So this is actually built into the image. They have their directions here. So a really cool just built-in service that works with ThingLink. You can see that you get a full-blown preview. I can actually look at some of the things we were just looking at here and click to go straight to them. It'll load in just a moment here, and we can actually skip that. So that's one cool thing that you can do. ThingLink also does a really good job of playing nice with other services, so things like Flickr. If I hover over this node in the back, you can see there's actually a Flickr photo that was automatically pulled over and embedded into this image. I can actually click it and it would open up the Flickr page for this photo, and I can see who took it, and I could actually reuse this photo myself if I needed to, if it fell into Creative Commons. So it works really well with Flickr. It also works with a really cool service called Soundcloud, which is kind of like YouTube for audio. It's right here. And so it'll bring up a preview of the Freedom Singers Nonviolent Protest. I can play this. You'll be able to hear part of it through my speakers. And so it's really cool that you can include these bits of audio directly over top of your image. Again, just adds all that context. You could even take it a step further, and we have a play icon here. This is just a YouTube video. And when I click play, it pulls it up right here.
The year was 1955. King's first job as a minister was at the Dexter Avenue Baptist.
And a really great clip from Discovery Education. So this is just a really cool way that you can use ThingLink to add that extra context to your images. So this is a really educational type of tool. Now this example is clearly one with a historical context, but you could use this in any discipline. You could even use it if you were a staff member to do any kind of thing. As a staff member myself, one thing that I've used it for in the past is I upload a campus map to show people where the visitor parking spots were on campus and some of the troublesome areas when classes were changing. I've also seen a really cool example where someone took a screenshot of an essay that was well written, and they included annotations with ThingLink to identify which areas of the paper that was. So, this is the thesis statement, it's well written because of this. Or a video on MLA formatting that was embedded into the document that was, it was put near an in-text citation. So all kinds of really cool things that you can do with this. To show you another outside-the-box example, this is a ThingLink called The Sound of Your Language, and this is actually open so that anyone can edit it. And what the person who created this did was They open it up, anyone can edit, anyone can add to it, and what they want you to do is, if you're from one of the countries on this map, you record a video of yourself saying a fairy tale or a short story or a poem that is popular in your country, and then you tag your country with that. So you can see these YouTube videos of people speaking in their native tongue.
Chciałabym przeczytać książkę pod tytułem Poszła Karolinka do Gogolina.
Really cool project, and again, I'll include the link to this as well. So there are all kinds of things that you can do with this, and it's so easy to use. And I want to point out, ThingLink was originally created as a marketing tool, so they're very focused on businesses in particular, and it's a freemium service, which means that for free you can annotate up to 100 images. But if you want more than that, you would have to actually pay money. Now the cool thing is that ThingLink does have an eye on education, and so you can actually get an educator account, or an education account, excuse me, that students or you could use, and that actually lets you have unlimited images. It's totally free, you don't have to ever pay for anything. I'll share the link with this video, and it's just something to look for. If you can't find it, just Google ThingLink education account, and you should find the link there to be able to upgrade your account once you've created it. So in terms of creating a ThingLink, this is actually really easy to do, and I've already gone ahead and uploaded one. If you were already in ThingLink and you had an account, you would just click this create icon up here, and it would prompt you to upload an image or pull one in from Flickr or something like that. And you would get your image here on the screen. And I'm just going to pull up the editing window for this. And so here you can see that I can now edit this ThingLink image. Now, if I did have a complaint with ThingLink, it would be that the editing window is very small. One of the original ideas that I had when I saw this tool was I thought this would be great for an infographic, because you could annotate, with citations for the different stats and statistics and facts in that infographic. But the problem is this is about as big as it gets, and so it's going to stretch that infographic and make it really, really, really tiny. Now, I can always click on these nodes and resize them a little bit if I wanted to, but the downside is, again, this is pretty small, so you're going to need to be careful about what types of images you pick to go in here. You're not going to have the biggest editing pain in the entire world. Now, the image that I've chosen is Prelude No. 4 by Chopin. It's actually a very sad song, so I probably should have picked something more upbeat. If you've seen The Notebook, I can guarantee you've heard this one. In fact, it's fairly popular, so I can probably guarantee you've heard this song at some point before. I've added 3 nodes to this before, or tags, whatever you want to call them. One is actually this shopping cart icon. This is an iTunes store link. So all I did was I copied in the iTunes link. It knew automatically that this was from iTunes. And so when my students hover over this, they have the option to actually buy the song on iTunes if they wanted to. I also have just a little information block. This is the Wikipedia page. I can put in a description, but it will also pull up a nice little preview when my students hover over that. I also have a Spotify track. So Spotify, if you're not familiar, it's a free music streaming service. It's an on-demand service, so it's not radio like Pandora necessarily. You can search through and pick which tracks you want to listen to. And so I found a performance of this that is built right in. They can play it right from here. I'll skip ahead a little bit if it'll let me. It may not let me. But you can go ahead and listen to that in the example. Now if I want to add one, all I really have to do is just click somewhere on the image. So what I've done is I found a really cool TED Talk by Benjamin Zander. It's about classical music, and so all I have to do is click. It'll use the last icon that I used, which was the play icon. If I wanted to change it, I could just click this icon area and choose a new one. Now I'm going to go ahead and stick with the red one. I mean, I could go with this if I wanted to get a little differentiation in there. But I'm just going to paste in this TED Talk link. Benjamin Zander, convince you that you love classical music. And you can see it's already loaded up a preview here with TED. So I can just save this tag, and there it is. That's all there is to it. Now I'm not too happy with how the white blends into the background, so I'm just going to click on this to edit it again. And I'll choose the red one since it sticks out more, and I'll save that tag. But it's that simple. You click, you paste in a link, which is optional, or you put in a description if you just want text, and you choose an icon. The little colored icons in the top row, those ones are pretty inconspicuous, so those are nice for just more general information. And then you click Save Tag after you type something in. I'm going to delete this one, but it's literally that simple. The other cool thing that you can do while you're editing is change your sharing settings. So right now mine is unlisted, which means that I can see it, and I have the option to get a link that would allow other people to see it, but no one would be able to search for this. If I wanted to make it open, I could make it public, but I don't have to. Optionally, I can also allow anyone to edit it. So if I wanted to create one that was unlisted for my class, but allow my students to edit it, I can do that too. I would just check this box right here. I'm not going to do that though. I'm just going to leave it unlisted so I can make it private for my course. I'll close this, and I'll click Save. And so here is my ThingLink image. This is what it would look like on the website. If I hover over that Benjamin Zander link and click play, pulls the video straight from TED.com and starts playing right in my screen here, right in my ThingLink image. And I can still make this full screen if I wanted to. So I still have all the same video options I would have if I had gone straight to TED.com. Now in terms of sharing, and this is the really cool part, you can obviously track stats and see if people are clicking on this and viewing it, but you can also click share. And since mine is unlisted, this is a special link that's just for me. So when I share this link with my students, they'll be able to see it, but no one else will. Again, they won't be able to search for it. So it's kind of like having an unlisted YouTube video. The other thing that I can do if I want to embed this into my Moodle course is I would use this embed code here. So it's everything in this box. All you have to do is click in here, then click Copy Code to Clipboard. It'll say copied, just to let you know. Then all you would do is come over into a Moodle course, and I would add something like a label, or you can actually do this in any text box that allows editing in Moodle. So it could be a page in a book, it could be instructions for an assignment, or a page is also a great option here, a blank page. I'm going to go ahead and create a label. And all you're going to do after this loads, I'll make it a little bit larger, is you're looking for this HTML icon. So when you click that, you get this nice big box where you can paste that code, click Update. You can already see the preview here. Scroll down, save and return to course. And here's my ThingLink image. Now the other thing that I have noticed with ThingLink that is a little bit of a complaint, but this is more just in terms of a Moodle issue, is sometimes the preview does not work very well on the instructor side when editing is on. So you can see right now I can edit things in the course and drag this around. So that does sometimes prevent those annotations from showing up. It won't affect the student view at all. If you want to see how things are going to look, just turn editing off to get a more reflective view of what the students might see, and then your annotations will show up here. So here's my Spotify, that iTunes link, and of course some information about the song. And this was that Wikipedia page. I could actually click this. It would take me to the Wikipedia page. I could read through the full article. I have all kinds of options here. So that's ThingLink. Again, it's a fantastic tool. It has a ton of different applications, whether it's a historical photo, whether it's an open community project, or whether it's just adding in some multimedia to something that would be kind of flat otherwise. There are just so many cool ways to use this tool. It's free. You get an education account that lets you make as many images as you want. It plays well with so many other services. This is really a no-brainer. So I would encourage all of you to create a free account. It may prompt you to sign up with Facebook, but you don't have to. You can just use email and give it a shot. Really, it's so easy to use. It's so easy to create and share that I think this is a great tool to look at, and I hope you have a lot of fun with it.